afternoon, depending on where you are watching this from. It is 10 o'clock here, AZ time, and we're going to start right on time and get right into it. So I appreciate you guys hopping on. We're going to go ahead and go over all things on my Facebook group and how I utilize it to get business right now. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. We'll go over a lot of information, a lot of details, and I'll give you guys a flow through here of exactly what this is going to look like. So with that being said, you guys should be able to see my screen now. I'll make it a little bigger here for you. If not, somebody hop in the chat and let me know. But with that being said, as mentioned, we're going to start right on time and I'm going to get right into this. So with that, we're going to go over again how to create a Facebook group. I'm going to go over specifically how you set this up, manage it, how you run it, how you get clients, and most importantly, how you get clients out of this Facebook group. With that being said, a couple things from here, if you'll make sure that you are on mute, and we will go ahead and hit Q&A here at the end. So if you have any questions, hold on to them, and I will definitely make sure we save some time here. I know sometimes these trainings can be a couple hours long, but I talk fast, I move quick. I'm going to try to move through this as efficiently as possible while giving you guys a lot of tangible information. I want you to be able to leave this webinar here with some actual to-dos on truly how to start your group, what to post in that group, and really how to drive clients out of this group. So currently, I'm getting 3 to 5 deals a month, predictably with consistency out of this group. You can do this from anywhere, which is one of my favorite things. If you follow myself or my husband at all, you know that we are definitely about the freedom and we built a business that allows us to really be anywhere, anytime. This is a great lead gen source for this. I built all of this with no paid leads. I'm going to show you guys some really black and white things I've done for free to get actual closings out of this group here. I'll show you screenshots, examples of exactly what I'm doing. I do a couple things now to further what I've done and what I've grown here that have a little bit of a cost to it, not things you guys have to do, definitely things that I think are helpful, but I'll touch base on all of that as well. So I'm going to give you guys some really solid info here. I know Facebook can kind of be looked at sometimes as like the old dusty way to lead gen, and it's not as popular of a site, if you will, like a TikTok or an Instagram. I love Facebook. It's been tried and true for my last 9 years in the business. A couple years ago is when I started this group, and it is definitely one of my most lucrative lead sources. Facebook is where the affluent are. This is where people who have money congregate, even over LinkedIn, and that is a current stat. A couple things about why I think this is incredibly helpful, and even right now, creating a group can be really good for your business, is because you're going to become the community go-to, right? You'll become a little more well-known in your area. It's easier to talk to business owners, a couple tips and things that I'll give you guys further in this training. And I think that this is going to be more important than ever with the current climate that we're in. Obviously, AI is super massive, right? Hopefully you guys are all using it, super helpful, super efficient. However, it's projected that in the next 5 years, people aren't even going to be using keyboards anymore. They're going to take whatever they're using for their either electronic or their glasses that they're wearing, and they're just going to speak into it. And they're going to ask it for the best agent in their area. They're going to ask it questions that's important to them as a specific buyer. They're going to ask who has the best reviews in that area, right? And it's going to automatically start recommending people to them. Obviously, you want to be doing things to be on the forefront of that and be those agents that are getting pulled up. However, building relationships is going to be more important than it has even in the past. And I fully believe that, especially with everything that is, again, kind of changing with people just having an immediate high-end resource to cut them straight to the chase, let them know who the best is. We want to make sure that rather than people thinking they need, something real estate-wise and going to that AI platform, we want them to think of us. We want them to remember us. We want them, when they overhear a friend, family, coworker, to say, hey, nope, this is who you've got to use and here's why. And this group is definitely helpful in doing so. So to jump right into it from here, here are some things that we're going to cover today. I know this kind of covers a little bit here, so I'll move it around as needed, but I'm going to go over what's on these slides anyways. So a couple of things that we're going to hit today to really give you guys a solid foundation is how to start this group, how exactly you create it, what to post in there, the initial things you should be doing to go ahead and grow members in your group, what I post in the group just as a consistent thing, what I post in the group specifically to get clients, where I'm getting this content that I'm posting in this group, specifically how I'm capturing these leads. So I'm putting posts out, right? But how am I specifically turning those into real estate clients? I'm going to go over the lead follow-up process I have with these clients. I'm going to give some insight on a posting schedule that I'd recommend for you guys if you're jumping into this, a couple helpful tips and tricks, some systems and assistance that I'm currently using to grow this group. So I'm going to go over a lot of details. All of this I was initially doing myself. You can 100% do this without admin, without anybody else. You can run this yourself, but I've got a couple pieces to the puzzle that I put in place to help me run it. So at the end of the presentation, I'm going to go over some of that information as well. And just depending on where you are in your group, or if you're trying to get to the next level with it, that could definitely be helpful for you. And then lastly, I'll touch base on posting timeline for results. So what is it really looking like for what I'm posting to when I'm actually getting clients and closing them? So with that, we're going to go ahead and jump right into creating your group. So a couple things here. When you are creating your group, I definitely recommend that you have a city name in your group, right? Something that's specific, something that is going to be really obvious about where you are, what you're posting about. That being said, it could be something, welcome to blank city, blank life, right? The name of your city. You could throw a mom's name in there, something that's just a little more niche down, a little more specific. It does not matter if there are already groups in the area, if there are already people, agents out there promoting or doing things, whether you're in a big city or a small city, truly doesn't matter whatsoever. As for a bigger city, so I live near Phoenix, for example. If I was going to create a group out there, some of the names that I would toss around would be something like Phoenix Lifestyle and Living, Phoenix Community and Connections, Phoenix Local Life, maybe something Modern Phoenix Moms, right? So again, you're talking to the city, but you're also talking about that lifestyle, which I'm going to show you some posts that will pertain to that. And it opens it up so that way you can go ahead and one, post about community things, which is going to be what drives people coming to your group. But also you're going to be able to slip in those real estate posts, which is how I'm getting these clients. So a little bit of info from here. I live in a smaller community, so not a ton to do, and I still have plenty to post about. I'll give you guys some tips and strategies of things that you can post if you are in a smaller community, or if you're needing more content to build up your group. I'll let you know what I do specifically in my group in order to have consistent content. Using AI platforms to create your group name, obviously super basic, right? Definitely would hop into an AI platform. I particularly use ChatGPT still for everything. And you could prompt it with who you are, what you're looking to do with this group, what area your group will be in, the type of preferred clientele you're speaking to, and then you can ask it to give you something catchy, right? So that's literally a prompt that you can take and pop into ChatGPT to help you create your community name, which is definitely going to be something that, again, you want to be a little more specific on, but open enough that you're going to be able to drive business through this. So as for the privacy settings of your group, I keep my group public, because what happens when you have a Facebook group, unlike a personal page, Facebook will go ahead and promote your page out. So it'll throw your page in front of random people and recommend it as a page that they would be interested in following. So I keep it public definitely for that reason. When I close a transaction from this group, when I start working with a client, I ask them specifically how they got the information to this group. And there's definitely been a good handful of times that it's because it was just randomly recommended to them on Facebook, and they looked in it, they liked the info, they joined the group. So that's definitely helpful in reaching more people organically, and you're not having to work for that, right? Facebook is doing that for you. It's pushing your group out. I'm going to show you a couple things that Facebook likes, so that way it'll help and push your group out. But that's also a really nice aspect of it. So that way, again, you're not just only talking to local people, you are also, excuse me here. Sorry, I've got to admit these ones, and now I hit this button. Okay, so with that being said, that is something that as you are in here, you can leave it open. And the last thing I want to hit on this particular slide is membership questions. So when I first started my group, I had it pretty open. I tried to put as little time into this as possible. I did not realize it was going to be the lead source that it currently is. So I was a little more free with it. and I didn't have requirements for people coming into my group. So with that being said, something that I definitely learned along the way and something that I would absolutely implement if I were doing this again and do it right from the beginning is include membership questions. So with that being said, when you go to a Facebook group and you click that you want to be joining that group, it comes up with just a little handful of questions, right? That's all this is. This is a recommendation I have for you guys of specifically what you can have in your membership questions. Couple things. What city and state are you located in? One, that's for my personal info. And if we were getting a lot of people coming from a particular city or a particular area, I would take that as a cue to create a relocation guide from that city to my city, right? So pick up all this information and really get everything that you can out of this group. Do you agree to not spam the page? Obviously, super basic 101. Do you agree to follow our group rules and be respectful to all members? If you have more things like this in place, Facebook is a little more lenient and they won't give you red flags if they see posts in your group that they don't like, which definitely can happen. It's happened to my page. So that's why this is also really important to put in place initially so that way your group is protected. I do advise that all real estate posts are limited in here. A couple things. If everybody will make sure to hop on mute there. With that being said, as for the real estate posts here, I do note again that they're limited. Why I do that is because you will definitely have some agents slip in there and post their real estate information. Obviously, a lot of times they don't know that I'm an agent running the group. So I will go ahead, I delete 100% all those posts every single time. Unless you're with us or an agent that I've allotted to post in that group, all the other ones get deleted. And every now and then you'll get a response from somebody that's asking you why you would do that. And I'm super polite, I always respond back, let them know that I'm an agent running that group and XYZ. Every now and then they'll respond back with, well, is this in your group rules? I never respond back to those, but if they care to push it, yes, it is in my group rules and that is there with a purpose as well. So that is helpful when you're running this type of group. And then this last one here, would you like to receive our free guide, Waddell Family Fund, plus local information? If so, drop your email. I am starting to lead gen immediately. So as soon as I get them in the group, if they have interest, if they want any of this information, right, they've got to give me their info. And now I've got them in my system to follow up. You're going to see that a lot of this, I'm going to show you specifically what I'm doing, is follow up as well. They're not just reaching out immediately and ready to go out view homes. Some of them are, and I'll go over some quick ones as well, but a lot of this also is you're getting people in your database, that's the goal, and then you can follow up with them accordingly. So these are things that I found definitely helpful in growing the group properly, but again, also getting in there with a couple things and a couple activities that will drive clients right off the bat. I try to get everything I can out of this group. So you'll see there's every little detail, kind of included there to make sure that if I can pull a lead out of it, that's exactly what I'm doing. Couple things here. Your group description. So your group description is important. This is going to be the information people see when they're going to join the group. So it has to be about what's in it for them, right? Why would they want to join this group? Why is that appealing to them? So things to do in the area, events, new businesses, road closures, all things that I post about. You guys, this can all be pieces of content for you. And the mindset you want to keep yourself in is if I was somebody living in this area, and hopefully you're right doing a group in your area, so that's going to be relevant to you. What is something that I would want to see? What is information that I would want to know as somebody living in this area or thinking about living in this area, right? So all of these things are helpful. Homes that are in the area, even when people aren't in the market, they're still scrolling Zillow, right? People love to look at properties. So I also post properties in here, and I'm going to show you exactly how I'm doing that as well. Market stats, as boring as that can seem to us as agents, that is definitely something that people care about. They care about what matters to them. They care about their value in their area. So because this group is specific, that is also something that people are interested in seeing. Local business promotion. So this group is also a great way to get in front of other people, get in front of other business owners. And you're not just a real estate agent trying to get business from them, right? You've got something to offer. You've got a community group that they can also promote their business in. So that brings people to the group. They want to be able to promote in here. And then also another big thing is people inquiring about services. So a lot of posts in here are people looking for a handyman, people looking for a cleaning service, all those types of things, and those are really helpful for engagement as well. So those are things that I have in here so people can see, okay, bam, this is what you're going to get when you join this group. So again, it's point is obviously to get real estate clients out of this, right? This is why I have this group. Of course, I want to be community based. I care about connecting with people. I love that it helps people in here, but this is all with a purpose. So when I first started this group, you can see this photo right here. It says the group name right above here, a little bit higher. Before I got to 5,000 members, I did not have my real estate info here. I did not have this information. I did not have my photo. All I had was just the background information here and then the name of my group. I wanted to build it up more before people just thought it was a real estate agent who was going to be pushing things on them. I wanted to make sure to have enough people in my group, enough traction that I knew it wasn't going to hurt anything. So with that being said, right when I got to 5,000 members, I updated this. I put all I did, update my banner, update my photo here, because the point of this is to solely drive business, right? So that is something that when people see this group, when they think about Waddell, when they come to this page, if they need something, I want them to immediately see me and have my information. It's definitely not hindered or slowed down the invites or change the group whatsoever. The content that's in there, the amount of engagement that we have, all still very much the same, still growing. But that is a tweak that again I made to my page right around that 5K mark. And again, what you want to be doing is starting your page with a picture that's relevant to you. So I live near the White Tank Mountains. If you live out in the city I live, which is called Waddell, you are right up to the White Tank Mountains. You are very familiar. Everybody knows what they are. So this picture back here had my group name and a picture of the White Tank Mountains, right? So put something that also pertains to your group, pertains to your city. I wanted it to be aesthetic. Again, I'm trying to make sure people want to join this group. There are millions of groups, right? Millions of groups in the areas sometimes that we're even creating them in. So we want to do some things that are going to stand out and make sure that it really is of value to people. So that way they want to go ahead and jump in this group. So with that being said, how to grow your group efficiently. So I wanted to give you guys some tips on exactly how I'm getting members in this group and what that looks like, the type of posts that are driving traffic for me. So I grew this page to about 3,000 members in the first 2 years that I had it. I was at that point with 3,000 members getting clients already. It doesn't take 2 years to build that up. I was getting clients, I was getting closings out of this, to the point at that 2 year mark, I thought to myself, okay, I've got something here. I definitely need to start being more intentional with this group and start proactively adding people here. So that way I can start driving more business out of it. And that's what started getting me to that 3 to 5 closings a month. With that being said, that first, again, 2 years took me to get to 3,000 members. In the last year and a half, I've grown it to just over 10,000 members. So there are very intentional ways to get people into your group. I'm going to show you guys right now as well some exact screenshots, the exact things I do to drive people into this group. But you can see with being strategic about it, it doesn't have to take that long to grow, right? With the algorithm pushing your group out as well, and you being proactive, you can definitely drive it a lot quicker. My personal page I've had for the last 9 years. I use it solely for real estate and I push a lot of business through that. This page, even though I've had it for less than half the time, still gets me more clients in a quicker time frame. So Facebook leads on your page, your personal page, typically about a 6 to 9 month turnaround time frame until they actually close on a property. This Facebook group, sometimes we're taking people out that first weekend. Sometimes they're a couple months out, which me, 3 to 4 months out, right? That's not a long time whatsoever. So these also turn a lot quicker once you start building it up and getting some members in here. So A couple things that I do in order to gain traffic, gain members, and get people inside of this group is I post and share community highlights, obviously, right? Super basic. You definitely want to talk about your area, talk about things that are happening, things that are coming up. If there's a business that's going to be opening soon, a business that's been remodeled, a business that has a deal going on, whatever it may be, you can run giveaways with local vendors, local business members. So that's also something, it's not costing you any money, right? You can get a gift card from a restaurant, from a coffee shop, from anywhere in your area, and you can raffle that off. Obviously, the goal there would be that if somebody shares it X times, they get in the drawing for that gift card. I also pass out flyers to local businesses, and I'm going to give you guys an example, show you exactly what that flyer looks like. That flyer is incredibly helpful in going to specific places I want to be in for business and making sure that I am gearing those people towards my group. And then obviously doing videos with local businesses as well. So people that already have an audience also, right? Connecting with them. And people like to look at that stuff. They like to look at local businesses. They like to look at things that are happening in their area, right? So it's also fun for them to look at those things. So those are some of the things that I'm doing in this group. And to give you guys a little more details on that, and again, I'll give you some specific examples of these posts and where I'm getting these from, is anytime somebody is commenting or liking a post in your group, you need to send them an invite. So on these pages, you're going to see a little blue button when somebody specifically comments, and it's going to allow you to add them into your group. That's the main thing right there, right? One of the biggest ways that you're going to get people into your group, they've already engaged with your group, they've seen something organically and responded on it. That's why the community posts are so helpful. Now you can take and directly invite them. It's super easy. You're literally just clicking an invite button on there. With that being said, you can also invite people to your group from your friends list. So you can go to your friends list and you can literally just, it's so easy. You just click through, invite as many people as you want. Obviously, I'm mindful about who I'm putting in there, not just spamming it out to everybody. And I do 50 a day. If you do more than that, it will start to flag your page as spam. So that's a good, safe, sweet spot. And again, you're organically inviting people. A lot of times these people obviously know you, right? So they're going to go ahead and join the group. Past clients, definitely important to get them in there as well. And then I engage on every single post. Your group likes engagement. If you are active in there, if you're consistently posting in there, if you're consistently responding to people, your page is going to get pushed out more organically. You're going to get in front of more people, and you're going to show up on random accounts, again, as a recommended page to follow, even for people you have no idea who they are. So it's a very good way to organically get in front of people in your area. And then with that, those flyers that I was talking about. So I have a physical flyer that I utilize. It has a QR code. And for about every 100 flyers that I physically go pass out, I get 3 to 4 members. It kept correcting. I don't get 3, 4, 7 members. I get 3 to 4 members per about every 100 flyers that I send out or that we pass out. I have some teenagers, so they pass a lot of those flyers out. They literally just go to neighborhoods in the area, businesses in the area, and then we'll place it, we'll like tape it on communal mailboxes. A lot of properties now will have communal areas as well and community boards. Sometimes it's allowed, sometimes it's not, right? I usually just put it up till they take it down anyways. But those are some ways to organically have people reach out to you and join your group. So this is a copy of this flyer that I keep talking about. This flyer just says hello neighbor. So it's not real estate based. It's not anything that shows I'm an agent, right? It is purely about the community. It's friendly, it's personable, it's local. I have the name of my group, obviously. And then down here at the bottom, I have a QR code. The easier you can make this, the better it's going to be, and the more people you're going to get. Everything's so quick, right? It's the tap of a button, or you have the time to scroll on a phone. That's it. That's all we've got. So I don't tell people, here's what to do. Go to Facebook, type in this group, add it, click on it, right? I have a QR code, so they could just scan it with their phone and immediately join the group. What I talk about is what they're going to see in this group, right? Again, what is in it for them? Why would they care at all to join this group? So it's going to give them things to do in my specific city, but also in the area. Important information about the city that we live in, restaurants, city and state growth changes, photos of homes in the area, local businesses and owner services, meaning again, hey, if you're a local business, you can also post in this group. And then I also tell people, again, they can post any of their services. If they own a cleaning company, if they own a dog walking service, whatever it may be, they can post in this local and community group as well. So again, this is enticing to people. It brings them in, so that way they want to be joining this group. And in doing the passing out of this flyer, and then organically inviting people through my friends list, that is truly how I've grown this from pretty much from the ground up over these last couple of years, 3.5 years. And that's how we ended up getting to over those 10,000 members. You're gonna see, which I'll show you, some posts definitely will perform better than others, and that's going to give you more traction for more people to invite. And I'll show you guys some examples of that as well. So as we get in here a little bit further, so we have gone over some information on how to start the group, what to be putting in your group, the best ways to make sure that you're inviting people and really growing people in your group. And this is an exact example of the very first post you want to use in your group to kick this thing off. So when you are starting your group, I started it very organically. I didn't come in with any type of real estate post. As you can see, a lot of this, it's very based in the community and just being somebody who's trying to be of service and of value. And then I sprinkle in the real estate, which I'll get to here shortly. So with that being said, this is again the very first post that I did in here. This is just introducing me, introducing my family, building that personal connection, right? And then again, just giving people an idea of what they are going to get in this group. If you've registered, I can send you this presentation. I don't know if this is too tiny. I try to make it as big as possible, but pretty much it just says, hey, hello, my fellow Waddell peeps. I want to create a page where we can share things going on in and near Waddell, and really anything that could be fun to do in AZ, right? So it's opened up. I'm not holding myself to only things in this city, but again, things that people in this area would just genuinely be interested in seeing. So it gives them a little bit of information. I do talk about that they're going to see available homes in Waddell, right? So I'm always sprinkling things in here a little bit, and that's it. I want to show you guys down here. I got, it was like 30 something reactions and 7 comments. So minimal, right? It's not popping, it's not viral, it's not all of this engagement on it, but that's fine. I just kept going with it. You just need the consistency in it, and then a couple of these next strategies that I'm going to go over. So one, with that being said, you got your personal post, right? People need to know why they're joining this group. You want to make sure that it's enticing to them, so that way your group is again being pushed out and you're helping it grow without you always having to be the one that is doing everything. But again, super solid first post. Definitely I recommend doing something personal and then just growing it that way. From here, some helpful info when you start your group. So you're going to create your group, right? You've got an idea, you've got the name, you know how to structure it, you've got your first post, you've got the background, you know how to set all this up. Now you need to start actually inviting people to your group. You want to start inviting people to your group after you've got a good 10 posts in there. You don't want to invite people and then they're joining this dead zone. They don't even know what it is. There's nothing in there, right? Maybe they'll stick with it, but you're going to lose people that way. There needs to be, again, a reason they want to stay in this group. So with that being said, I have 10 posts that I put in there. My personal post that I put as the very first one. And then I started really inviting people to this group and then passing out those flyers. Make sure that you manage your page. So when you are on your Facebook page for your group, literally there's a little blue button to the left side. You cannot miss it. It's right on the very first page. It says manage. You can click on that. I definitely recommend looking in there weekly. See if there's anything that's been flagged, anything that's been popped up, any alerts that Facebook is telling you that you need to address in your group. Make sure to do those things, because if not, they could delete your group. And I personally have gotten some red flags for people that had slipped in with just some posts that you won't even know are an issue for Facebook, but it's just running through its own algorithms and calling out what it sees, right? So be mindful in there, protect your group. When you're setting this up, so you're going to get potentially scammers in there. I definitely have seen that. You're going to get people putting the same repeat posts and spamming it. Something that you can do is in your settings, you can note for keywords in there to not be allowed to be posted in your group. So for example, out here for a long time, duct cleaning scams are a really big thing. So I had the words highlighted for duct cleaning, then anybody who had those words in their post just automatically were deleted. They couldn't be in the group. So there's things you can do to systematize it, save your time, right? So look at those things. Any repeat tasks that you're having to consistently do, there's probably a process for it. So that way you can make sure and make this as efficient for you as possible. So that's definitely a little tip I have there. And then obviously monitoring other agents posting in your group, even with you watching it, even with the guidelines in there, even with you managing who's actually allowed to get posts in there, they're still going to slip through. So be mindful, be checking your page, get in there and delete those as needed. That's definitely something I found to be helpful and something that we have to do at least a couple times a week. And then to get to the information here of exactly what I'm posting in this group. So I'm going to show you guys the main things that are driving people to my page so I actually can click that invite button. And then I'm going to show you guys specifically what the posts are that actually are driving the most leads to myself for these closings. So with that being said, a couple things. I'm literally just pulling, like I said, things to do, new restaurants, holiday geared events is a good one. It makes it a lot easier to find things to post. Again, coupons, discounts, kids eat free day at wherever, all those little things, people love hearing about that stuff. Community issues. So we've, for example, got some buildings that are going up close to some properties that people are not super happy about. So I've been posting some information about that. People love to talk about that, right? I do not want some negative ass group, but I want to be transparent. People love to talk about that stuff. It drives engagement, right? So when I said I live in a small area, I meant it. There was a Target that went, a shopping center essentially that went up, but a Target was one of the stores that went in there, and everybody was so excited about this Target. So all I did was literally screenshot the post and put it in here. You can see that it reached just over 9,000 people, 139 reactions, 35 comments, 21 shares, right? This is people passing our information out. Now when I have these comments, I'm clicking on the comments and that blue invite button, invite. Everybody gets an invite on here. That's how you're going to grow people to your group. I knew there was a lot of growth in that area with the shopping center. So I went to Facebook pages, new Target coming to surprise. Boom, I can see the information. Target posts everything. They put out what they're doing. I'm just copying and pasting it. It is super easy. Right here. This was like a water park area that came to our area. It's AZ, it's hot as hell. Everybody loves anything water activity based, especially for their kiddos out in my particular community. I know this is a very family based area, so I post specific to that. This is something the city had posted. I just got this off of the city page, took the photos. I know you can't see it here, but it was just very basic verbiage about what this is, when it opens, the address. And I just took this, I posted it on my page. You can see I got 3.1 thousand reactions, 677 comments, 655 shares of people putting this out and sharing my group. And I reached 855,000 people with this one post. This is how you get people in your group. Now I've got all these comments here. What is that? That's 677 people I'm going to go and invite to this group. Obviously not all at once, but that is how you are driving traffic here. They've already seen something here they like. They're warmed up to it. You've got items and value that are important to them. They're going to join your group. From here, to give you guys a little more specific information as well, some additional things that I post. So as mentioned, we're in a smaller city, right? I post things that are opening, things that are nearby. The city that I'm in, there's a handful of cities within 15 minutes. So I will also post things that are going on in nearby cities. I live here. I know if there was something interesting going on in XYZ city surrounding me, then I would absolutely go. And because we're in a smaller area, I want to see those things. I want to see more things to do in other communities, and other people definitely do as well. So I post things in surrounding cities, and not just specific to me, but there's again a handful of cities that also have events. They're a little bit bigger, they're a little bit more built up. So I post their information, I share their information. So this here was a new community. I just happened to see another post about it. So I Googled this community, pulled some information, copied and pasted off their website, put it in my group. It literally doesn't get any easier. This is a new community that's coming, new shopping center, new things to do, a lot of new homes, hundreds and hundreds of new homes. It's a brand new subdivision coming up. So this is something, brand new city, I should say, not even subdivision. So this is something that people are super interested in, right? This is not my exact city. This city is about 30 minutes away. It's relevant. It's close to people. People where I'm living still would live in that city or move from that city to my city. So I know it's still a viable post. And again, this is super interesting. Who doesn't want to know about a new city essentially coming up near you? So that is something that's super helpful, super, helpful in moving that engagement forward and being able to invite people to your group. This here, I also post about things to do, even if they're not right in my area. So with that being said, specific things like this resort here, there's tons of really nice resorts around us, within 45 minutes to an hour. People absolutely travel for those. People vacation here. A lot of homes out here are second homes for people. So they like that feel. They like the spa vibe. They like those things to do. So I'm also posting these types of things that are enticing about Arizona. Whether you live here and you don't, or you're just a part of this group because you like it out here, this shows you the lifestyle aspect as well. So I love these ones. Again, saw this is called Castle Hot Springs. I saw this on their particular Facebook page. I took the info, I copied and pasted it. 79 people here, so not massive, right? But 79 people now to add to my group, 42 comments, 6 shares, reached 19,000 people with this copy and pasted post about a resort. So it's about what people want to see, right? This place is beautiful, it's awesome, it's a little bit different. So definitely things that you want to be utilizing to entice people to come to your group. Give them something to look at. From here, a couple community-based posts. So I showed you guys some more broad things as well. These are a little more specific to the area. So this right here, the Corral, is just like a little down-home bar area that people like to hang out at. This is directly from their page, the Corral at White Tank Ranch. I share all of their stuff. Super easy to do, takes a second. This page thanks me all the time. I've met the owners. I go out to this location, and rather than just being another person there, I'm like, hey, I'm actually the owner of the Welcome to Waddell group. And they are very familiar. They're grateful that we're posting their stuff in there. So it really does help build offline connections as well. So that's also something I do. If you've got a local business in your area, if you've got something people like to do, share that page. Specifically, go out, copy and paste it. I share from that page so they can see that I'm also giving engagement to these local businesses. And that's definitely, again, a good way to grow people and be able to invite them, but also to grow those business relationships. This here, a lot of people will post their personal stuff, their personal service. There's a couple little young hustlers in here who always post about what they're doing. Always super happy to support that as well. So again, these are some of the posts that get engagement. Sometimes it'll be a handful, sometimes it'll be hundreds of comments. It's just case by case on obviously what they're offering. But again, these are things that I allow people to post in the group. I'm just not the only one in here. People are also posting with their services, with things they offer, with things for the community. Another thing that I post here, quick little reminders. So obviously my branding is green. They don't have my spot on green color. This is the closest one it gets. But when I post in my group a question, I always post it the exact same. I want my stuff to always look the same. I want people to see things and think of me. So with that being said, every little detail is thought of. But bulk pickup out here, some people know it, some people don't, but it's where you can essentially have an additional day and put any of your massive things outside on the curb and they'll get picked up for the trash, right? Homeowners love that kind of stuff. It's something that people definitely are interested out here. So that's something that I post in my group as well. Reminder, bulk pickup is tomorrow, the 19th, for White Tank Foothills, right? I'm giving them information. I'm telling them community things that they want to know. So I do larger things. I share things. I do like the Target posts and things like that. But I also keep it very local and showing people in the area what would they want to know? What's important to them? Sometimes there's road closures. I'll post that information in here. So just additional helpful updates as well to make sure that, again, it's very community based and also specific to those living here. A couple things here. So a little more on the community and member posts. So this page definitely took a life of its own. I have multiple posts every single day consistently in there by people in the area, either offering services or asking questions. Those are amazing. They drive engagement. And a couple things that people post consistently. So lost pets, again, very community based. I see people literally find their lost pets in this group, right? It's amazing, super helpful. Handyman, all types of vendors, AC, plumbing, painting, trash removal, cleaning services. People are posting all types of services that they offer those or that they're asking for those services. People post that they're thinking about moving here and they have a question, or that they recently are moving here and have a question on something else, right? They immediately get a personal friend request, not just an invite as well. With that, all this is very convenient as a real estate agent, right? If I need a service, I also post in this group. When I need something for my clients, I'm now getting them a vendor, getting them another resource, but it's helpful to grow the engagement in my group. So with that, again, I always post in there in the same exact style. And this one, I was looking for somebody to redo front yard and backyard irrigation for one of my clients. This had 67 comments on it of people just reaching out for information for irrigation, right? So you get a lot of vendor responses as well. These are really good for engagement. If my group was a little slower, or if I was thinking about or trying to figure out something to post, I would literally just pop in there and ask for something anyways. Even if you don't technically need it, you could get in there and boost that engagement with that. And people love to help. They love to talk about other services. They love to refer somebody who did a good job for them, right? So even though that only has 1.5 thousand reach, we've got 67 comments on it. Obviously, all of those people again are now, I'm going to click on that comment. I'm going to hit that invite button. With that, and this is so inconvenient, so I apologize, but let me just move it over here so you guys could see it. This one, I really wanted to show you guys because this is also so helpful to the community. You really are helping people, you're helping their businesses. And this is something that somebody had posted in here. So she posted, summer apples are ready, fresh pick, XYZ, right? We've got a lot of farmland out here, a lot of people that sell fruits, vegetables, things like that. So she came in this group, posted about her apples, was offering to sell them, right? From here, you can see this part. She has an update. So thank you for all of your wonderful support. I'm currently sold out of all my apples at this time. I'll have more in the future. They'll be picking in about a week. XYZ gives more information about when she'll post some more in the group. But she literally sold out her business by using this group. So I love it. It's truly helpful to people as well. It keeps people wanting to come back. That's good for the community, right? People love that kind of stuff out here as well. So it's good for my engagement, but it's also just truly good for people that are in here. And when I'm out in the community or out at an event, out at a restaurant, you organically are typically talking to people. You'll come across people that have like found a pet in your group or that posted their business and got help in there. And it just helps you also organically connect more with people. You can run all of this online without doing events and all that, but obviously getting face to face. And I'm a huge believer in building those relationships. And also at the end of this, I'll give you some specific things that I do to take this offline and also do a couple in-person things. So not things you must do, but things that I've definitely found helpful. So again, this group takes a life of its own. You're really helping people. You're getting information for clients when they need it. And then you're also helping people with their local businesses. So with that being said, some real estate based posts. So this is what you guys are here for. This is what is truly driving me clients and getting me business. Everything else is super important, right? You got to lay the bricks. You got to have the foundation. People have to be engaging. They have to want to be joining your group, and they have to stay in your group. We don't want to be building these members up and then everybody's leaving because you're just posting the same shit and you're running it as a straight lead generation website and it's obvious, right? So you want to make sure that's of value and you do all of those things that I initially spoke about. But I'm going to now go into the exact posts that are driving me business, getting me clients, how I'm actually capturing those leads, and how I'm getting in touch with these people to move them forward to the closing. So with that being said, gotta sip my Red Bull here. I talk too much. These are some posts that I have pinned currently. So this one, definitely something that I recommend as well. It's just a little personal post. Again, this page is going to take a life of its own. What you post, you're going to come back in a couple hours and it's going to be gone. You're going to have numerous posts in front of that. Again, people are just scrolling and moving, right? I want to be the immediate presence in that group. So with that being said, this is the post that I have pinned to the top. So anytime somebody comes into the group, this is one of the first things they see. I also post and pin community events. So if it's Halloween, which is coming up, then we got Thanksgiving, then we've got Christmas. If there's something that's based towards a holiday get together or an event happening in the city, I'll also post and pin those things at the top of my page. So again, it's a value. They're going there for things they actually want to see. But this is the first one that they see. This is literally just a carousel post. You can go into ChatGPT and have this created. You can then go into Gamma, which ChatGPT now offers at the click of a button to generate your PDFs and your guides through Canva. However, you can also utilize Gamma and it'll create these slides for you. Obviously, you're going to have to upload or add your personal photos there, but it can put these slides together for you. And the point to this is just to give a little intro. I'm just always planting seeds, right? They maybe don't need something right now, but when they do need something, I want to immediately cue into their brain. So this just gives some information. Are you buying or selling in Arizona? You deserve a local realtor who knows the West Valley. That's out here where we live, right? Again, I'm not holding myself to just one city, but talking about what is out here, which is the West. If you're familiar, it's the West Valley, it'll make sense. With that, I give a little bit of info again on who I am. I start with a little bit of personal touch. Nobody really gives a shit that much to sit there and like read your whole life story, right? So short, sweet, to the point, but I also want to build that connection with people. I want to feel relatable. I want them to remember me. So I give a little bit of my information. And then just a little bit of who I am and what I do. I want to be that authority figure to them, right? So it just goes off again, personal info, what I can help them do. Spent the last 10 years helping clients confidently buy, sell, and build custom homes. I know this market inside and out, and I'm here to make your next move as smooth and strategic as possible. So again, I'm just setting that up. So when they need something, I'm already the authority figure. Down here, and I know this one is probably a little hard to see, but I'll read it off. So this one just says helping families make moves to Arizona with ease. I specialize in new builds, custom homes, and lifestyle moves. So with that being said, again, I'm speaking to my specific clientele. I like working higher end and luxury clients at this point. We've got a lot of properties out here like that. So I talk direct to who I'm trying to work with. If you're just getting into this, or if you're just kind of starting, or if you're looking for more content to be able to give people, because it has to be value. Say super basic, right? Value and educational. You got to show them what they want. First time buyers and new home buyers, super easy to talk to. There is so much information that you can provide them. So that's another way you can gear it right. But make sure that you put this to where you're talking to a specific person. It took me a long time to get here. I used to talk to literally everybody. I was so worried that if I kind of niched down a little too specifically, I was going to miss out on clients, kind of like everybody else does, right? 1000%, it works. Right now, the way things are operating is that smaller pages and people who are community based are getting more of an organic reach on the platforms. And this is very recent over the last couple of weeks. The platforms are no longer just pushing out massive pages. They're pushing out local people. So when you're utilizing this information, geotagging is super helpful. You want to be the one known in your area, and that's going to help you get searched and get pushed out to people. Okay. So these again are the first ones. This is a pin post I had. This is a little weekend guide. So super basic. There's literally nothing groundbreaking here. I'm not doing anything crazy, anything that's super time consuming. This is, I'm sure many agents know, the Weekender, right? Super basic one where it goes over things to do in the area, the weather, new movies that are out, events to do. I do have my VA who has turned this into a video at this point. So it's more appeasing to watch. It's more catchy. They're not just clicking through a PDF guide. Either or is fine. But this is something that we put in there every Friday. Again, the title company creates it, emails it over. My VA takes it from there. Super easy, super brainless. People will reach out for this if it's not posted for any reason and ask like, hey, I just wanted to see if that guide was going to be posted, or hey, I wanted to see new information of things to do in the area. They genuinely come here and look for these kinds of things, and they get used to seeing it in your group. So again, super basic, but these are definitely some of the real estate based posts that you guys want to have in here. From here, okay, so we have this one, and then we've got a really specific one on the ones that are really getting the leads in. So these here, super helpful as well. You want to be touching base as a whole. You want to talk about the lifestyle. You don't want to just be a realtor posting about your services, right? You want to show people, you want to entice people. I am very big on free guides as well. So 5 things you must know before buying a new build home. This is the property we were showing, literally panned a quick video while I was there, put a little hook and a caption over it. And now I've got a lead generating post, right? Now when people reach out for that new build guide, they're going to have to give me their information. I'm going to be able to follow up with them. With that, again, a little lifestyle post here about things to do, things in the area. These are literally just a couple clips strung together of me out and about in the area, things that I'm already doing. Again, lifestyle based, right? And then I put a post with this. So again, same thing here. They have a call to action if they would like to receive, homes to DM me, and then I'll send a list of available homes as well. So again, these are helpful. I feel like you should definitely be posting these in there. It warms people up. It shows them things that they want to see. With that being said, these next couple of posts are black and white. What brings me the most amount of business? They are so easy. I'm going to show you guys the template that we use for them and exactly what I'm posting. But these are truly, truly the ones that bring me in the actual leads that I am truly closing on in real time. So with that being said, this is a listing that I had. Super basic, right? It's literally just screenshots. It's a carousel post. It's pictures of the property. And then you can see over this photo here, it's just got property information. It's nothing crazy. It's nothing different. It's nothing that takes a lot of time to do. Again, you can pop this into AI platforms now and have it spit this out for you. But this is something that is actually driving me people that are looking to buy and sell right now. So if we look down here, this post reached 23,000 people. I'll post the same stuff on my personal page that I've had, again, for double the time, and it'll get a fraction of that reach on it. And my Facebook page is still very good to me. I use that for business as well. But for some reason, this group, because it's organic, it definitely really pushes it out to more people for you. 66 comments on here, right? Boom. Now I've got 66 people that I'm going to reach out to about this property. I'm going to give you guys a little bit more info here and show you guys a couple more examples. And then I'm going to show you when somebody comments, what it is that they're commenting typically, what it is I'm responding with, and then how I'm taking that conversation to actually get them to the closing table. So I'm going to give you guys some solid details here. But this, again, hands down, super black and white. This is what I'm posting for one. I got one of two options. This is one of the style of posts that I do that actually brings in leads. Side note, I also use this now as a USP in my listing presentation. So a little bit of a different avenue here. But now when I am meeting with sellers to list their home, in my presentation, I've got a screenshot of our posts and how they perform, and I show our clients. We're not just going to pop you on the MLS. I also specifically run a group in this area. You can see the engagement that we get on it. And that's also, again, another USP, right? Clients like that. It gives another avenue. Obviously, eyeballs on your home are absolutely what's in price and how it looks, obviously. But then getting eyeballs on that home is super important. So little side note here. This is also something I use as well that I found helpful in my listing presentations. With that being said, these ones here, super basic. This is the other style. So we've got that carousel post. This is the main one that I'm doing that is hands down my highest converting post style. So with that being said, you can see they all have the same information. It is super basic. I am using posts of homes in the area, not only my own listings. I will comb the MLS. I'll show you how I'm doing that and kind of the steps that I've taken to systematize that as well. But these are posts that are coming from MLS. Make sure that you align with your state rules, regulations, that your compliance. Here, essentially, we just need to note who the listing is by, which you can see in the information. Obviously, strategically, we put it down here at the bottom. But that being said, very basic information. This is what we're posting here. A couple enticing photos of the property and a little bit of information. I gatekeep things like price and location, and I'll go over that here in just a moment. But hands down, this is where my closings in this group are coming from. These types of posts, 90% of what I'm doing, it is coming from these posts. I did start out, I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, but with one post a week of this. When I saw what this was turning into, ramped it up, started doing 2 posts a week. Doing 2 posts a week like this, Consistently is what is getting me that 3 to 5 closings a month. Again, I do further things, I get in front of people now, but if you just did this right here from this slide alone, I'm almost positive you're going to get business. Like this is what's doing it. You got to be consistent. You have to post things of value in there, right? So you can't only post these, but if this is your main source for lead gen, you're going to get deals out of this group. So with that being said, we can see this one here, 20,000 reach, 105 comments. That's 105 people I had to reach out to about this particular property. This one here, 57 comments. This one here, we reached 78,000 people and I've got 145 comments, 12 shares on it, right? Boom, all people that we could reach out to. This one, 40 comments, 5 shares. Again, 40 people that I now have to reach out to add to my database from a post that went out. No time involved, no open houses. You can do it from anywhere. It is one of my, it's probably, I gotta say, my favorite lead source that I've ever had. I love referral, I love repeat business, but this too, you're in control of what you're posting and what you're getting back. So these posts are money. This is what is truly driving the business in this group to get these closings that I'm having. With that being said, not all posts had to get a ton of comments. So not every single time I post is it that much engagement. A lot of them are, some of them are not. So this one reached 1.9 thousand people. I got 23 comments. I met with this gentleman. We've got a buyer broker signed. This one here, 1.9 thousand, 9 comments. I connected with this gentleman on a consultation via Zoom within 48 hours, got a buyer broker signed, took him out to this property, and he's a current client right now. So they don't have to be these crazy high posts. It is what you do to follow up and engage with these people after as well. So it's not just a matter of an auto response goes out and then everybody's raising their hand to go out on a showing with you. Sometimes it's like that, but sometimes you've got follow up in this, just like every other lead source, and you got to make sure that you're moving these leads forward. So with that being said, I'm going to jump into a little bit of a posting schedule for you guys to kind of bring all of this together. And then I'm going to talk about exactly how I am capturing these leads and what I am doing to move them forward, to communicate with them, what my follow-up messages are. When they message and I respond to them, what is it that I'm sending them? So I'm going to give you guys all those details here as well. But with that being said, here's a little sample weekly plan for you. If you are just getting going, if you're trying to revamp this, here's an idea of what you could do to post and build this group and what I definitely recommend and what we're structuring things off of at this point in order to have consistent people that I can invite or people that are organically being recommended to join this group, on top of how I am obviously getting deals. That's the whole point of this group. So with that being said, things to do in Waddell, events, right? Builds trust, builds community feel. It lets people know what they're going to get from your group. Polls and questions, things that are engaging. I'm not just sitting back and waiting for people. A poll that I really like out here. So we've got a lot of new builds, and I'll put in there, if you could purchase a home for a 5% interest rate or less, would you? Yes or no, right? Anybody who says yes, bam, you can reach out to them. Again, local vendors, people in the area, people want to help. They want to give suggestions of people they like to use. Homeowner tips, decor ideas. Again, I like to work with a certain type of clientele. I know that's the kind of stuff they like to see, so I put that in my group. Informational guides. I'm all about collecting the info, right? So something I can give them of value to make them give me their information, right? Name of the game, pretty basic. And then property posts, those ones I just showed you, like that's it, you guys. That's what's getting me the deals. That's definitely what's driving things in. The sample weekly plan here, so you could, to break this down and how to put it into an actual practice, is you could post upcoming events or a local tip. You could put an engaging question or something to do. Wednesday, home for sale. Hit it with that exact post that I showed you, just the screenshots of the photos and the information. Thursday, you can do kind of small business highlight, something in the area. It could be a local person. It could be somebody just starting off. It could be a teen sharing their business. Friday, always a helpful tip, whether it be real estate or community based. Again, we put out that community guide, just tells them things to do in the area, the weather for the weekend, right? Just basic things, but things people like to know, especially if you're thinking about moving out here. And we're not just relocation based. I am in a city where a lot of people sell and buy at the same time. So a lot of these clients I get out of here turn into duals, but I also know there really aren't any rentals in my area. So I know what type of clients, again, I'm going to get out of this particular group in this particular area. So with that being said, informational guides, right? I know I talked about that a couple times. You could be doing 5 tips to purchasing a new build home, 5 tips to purchasing a home in the next 30 days if you're a home buyer. I'm going to dig in a little bit further in the presentation on that as well and some strategies there. But you can use the same guide over and over. You don't need to create a new guide every time. You need to update the information and change that hook a little bit. And that's going to be something, again, you can reuse to keep re-engaging and getting people in. And then Sunday property post. As mentioned, I'm doing 2 of those posts a week, right? So that's what I'm hitting it with. That's a solid schedule that you guys can follow to get some traction, to be able to invite people, to be able to get closings out of this group. From here, where to find content to post in your group, right? So I know I've mentioned a handful of times, post community things, post restaurant, post things to do. But where do you find those things, right? So a couple suggestions for you guys. One, go to Eventbrite. So that's a website, it's national. You can hop in there. I'm pretty sure it's in every state. With that, it's literally just a website. You guys have probably got an invite to an event through Eventbrite. If you go to their actual website and you search things to do in your city, it'll pop up with just a bunch of events, things to do, local things. You can take that information now and post it in your group, right? You're going to go to Facebook. You're going to go to the search bar. You're literally going to type in events, or you're going to type in things to do near me. It is that easy. People can literally search this stuff up themselves, right? But I will get messages from people. Hey, is there anything going on for Easter in the area? Hey, is there anything going on for XYZ? And I am just doing exactly what I told you guys right now and posting it in the group. It is that simple, but people use it as a hub to go to. It's easy for them, right? So those are some things that you can, some actually specific ways to pull this content. I knew, again, that shopping center was coming. So I looked on Facebook for that new Target. So I knew they'd be posting about it, right? If there's a new Starbucks coming to your area, I promise you that Starbucks is promoting and talking about it. Just search that information and take what they're already doing. As mentioned as well, I use surrounding cities. It doesn't have to be somewhere right near me. It just needs to be local or somewhere enticing enough that somebody in my area would be willing to travel there. Again, destination locations, nice resorts. There are tons of amazing hikes out here, some of them 2 hours away in Sedona, which is a beautiful city. Totally worth traveling there if you live in my city. So I'll post those types of things in there, right? It's enticing. It's things to do in the area. It's things people who live there would want to know about. One, join other community groups. There is a community group, so not for the city, but specific to my subdivision. You probably have one as well. If not, boom, that's your cue, create it. But I hop into those groups as well, and they'll give you, like, that's where you'll see bulk trash pickup times. That's where you'll see if there's like an internet outage, when they expect it to turn back on. Just little more community things that are more specific to my area, and I'll post those in my group as well. Community newsletter. Newsletters are not dead. They work very well in these types of groups. And I'll give you guys an example of what I send out as well and how often I'm doing so. But that's a really great way to get in front of people. Post it. I post a video scrolling through what the newsletter is, and then they have to click through and give me their info to actually get the newsletter. So the newsletter, again, is with the purpose. If I've already taken in this lead and I have their information, I will send them this guide as well. So it's a follow-up they get from me. So I'll go over that information here too in just the next couple of slides. Attend city council meetings. So city council meetings can sound super boring, but I get a lot of good information there. If you're not able to attend, or maybe that location is far from you, they all have Facebook pages. Go to your city council Facebook page. It's going to give you information of things coming, of businesses, of issues that people are having, of questions people in the community are having. So that can be a really good site as well. Road closures that people in the area would want to be mindful of. All of those things I'm pulling out of those groups as well, or physically going to city council meetings. They're less than 15 minutes away, so I'll pop into those. Good little networking event as well, right? I don't have to host it, I don't have to put it on, I just have to show up. But either way, it's a good place for information for your area. Obviously, using AI platforms to create free guides, to create anything that you guys would essentially need community wise, because you can prompt it accordingly to give you info tailored to your city, right? So that is also something that I would recommend hopping in. And then the MLS is where I'm getting a lot of this information. So literally the photos that I post, right? The property information, the landing page that people are sent to when they reach out for information, which I will show you guys, all comes from the MLS. Super basic, not using anything crazy, not using any additional tools here. Okay, so turning engagement into clients. We've got the post out. You guys have a good framework of how to start your group, what to post in there initially, how to invite people to your group, what to be posting in your group in order to get traffic and make people want to join it and make people want to stay in your group. You know exactly what posts to utilize to now drive leads in this group. And now you've got the comments, right? So boom, you put the post out, you've got engagement. You're now ready to follow up with these people and turn this engagement into an actual client. So with that being said, a couple things. Obviously, you need to have a proper follow-up system in place for the best conversion. Let me tell you, when I first started this group, I did not realize it was going to be what it was. And like I said, it was kind of just something I created because I moved to the area, didn't really see anybody else doing it, kind of put it to the side. And then I saw things starting to come from it. So I started putting things in place because I was getting hundreds of comments on a post and literally just missing out on these leads, going back in the group and seeing that none of them had been spoken to and none of them had been followed up with because we didn't have the infrastructure and the time to also be following up with that. So you absolutely need a proper follow-up system. This is very quick when it comes to, again, how much you can turn this lead. Again, some of these people I've got out in 48 hours, some of them a couple months. These absolutely turn quicker than my personal Facebook page. However, like all lead sources, you're gonna get more out of this when you follow up. I am following up with these people to get the 3 to 5. Do I think I get a 1 or 2 without following up at all? 100%. So based on your goal, obviously you could take that for what it is, but I saw that if I did more, I had a strategy and a structure here that I could consistently and predictably pull more clients and more leads out of this. So that's what obviously I went forward with and put more infrastructure in to make sure that I've got a specific follow-up process for when people are commenting, then when we're sending them the link, and then if they reply or they don't reply, what we're doing from there. So I set up consistent messages, consistent follow-ups, and email drips that go out to these clients once I take in their information. So when people comment, one, I am all about freedom of schedule. I also, to the contrary, live by my calendar, meaning I'm not going to just fly up and do something out of nowhere. I'm very structured. But these leads, speed matters. So you want to get in there, you want to respond as soon as possible. When people comment in there, they're hot, right? You want to get in there as soon as possible. Not always the case. I still convert them, but definitely a tip to pull as much out of this as you possibly can. One, I never just send over the property information. So when they comment on me, when they comment on my post, the whole point to that is I want their information, right? I know the odds of them buying that. It's like an open house. The odds of them buying this home that I'm posting about, not likely. They don't even know what the price point is, right? They don't even know the dang address. I am going to get their info so that way I can further where they are and really turn them into a client. So I never just send them the information, and I have an outline of what my follow-up looks like for when people, again, are responding or when they go ghost for me. So with that being said, a couple things, and I'm going to show you guys a couple examples as well. A couple things that you want to know so you do not miss out on these leads, which are obviously going to turn into your deals. So when you put out a property post, make sure that you have a clear hook, a clear call to action. This is step one. So in those posts that I'm putting out, it says DM property for full details. Okay. So first things first, again, we've got literally this much time. You got to swipe, you got to scroll before somebody's on to the next. It has to be easy. It has to be brainless. So I tell them, if you're interested in this, do this, which is comment luxury, comment home, comment new build for full details. It can be anything, right? Make it make sense to what you're posting. But I tell them to comment X. I don't tell them reach out for further info. Let me know if you're interested. I tell them if this, then that. Here is your black and white step. Take your next step, right? So it just helps lead people more down your funnel. From there, I have a message response prepped to comment back to these people. Anybody who comments on a property post gets the same response, okay? So we've got that property post. It has the photos, it has the basic info. It never has price, it never has address, okay? So now I've posted that and you guys saw I've got the comments on it. Those comments typically say price or more info. Those are the most things you're gonna get, or obviously the keyword. So one of those variations, whatever it is people are commenting, I respond back with the exact same message 100% to everybody. So when they put any type of comment on those real estate posts, they get a message, hey, check your DMs for full details. That's it. Doesn't matter. Auto goes out. That's who I'm that's what we're responding with. And that's it. That's your first step. Okay. You posted your post. You've got a comment on it. You responded to that comment. Hey, check your DMs for full details. Now you've got to go to their DMs, right? And send them the full details. So what are those? So now that they've got the comment, I immediately send them a message. So the message is thanks for your comment in blank group. That's with purpose, you guys. People are not just reaching out on your properties. They're typically dancing all over websites. There's a lot of spam things. They're gonna potentially look at this and think to themselves, I wasn't asking for anything. I don't remember this property. I don't know what this is. I'm not gonna give my info. So I let them know, hey, thanks for your comment in blank group, right? Here's where it came from. They know they were in that group. It's gonna click, it's gonna make sense. And here's a link with the property you inquired about, along with a list of 20 similar homes. Okay, so this is not something I did at the beginning. This is something I've updated to get more people to give me their information when I'm reaching out to them. One, when they now are getting this message from me, they're getting a follow-up message, but they're also now getting a link to a landing page. This is the landing page. So I don't just message them all of the property information. I message them this enticing message right here, which the whole purpose is to prompt them to click this link and fill out this information. This is how I'm capturing these leads. This is how I'm taking them in. So now I've got all their info, right? I don't care what they do on the property I posted. I can follow up with them now accordingly. With that being said, people, when they message on Facebook and they're asking for a property, they don't always want to come to a link and fill out their info. So you're going to lose people, and I'm going to tell you what I do in those situations. But furthermore, I want to entice them, right? So it's not even just this one home, it's 20 other homes in the area as well. So it's like, oh shit, I want to see that. I want to see what's available. So again, I put that in there to be more enticing to people. So that way they fill out this information. And now I've actually captured them as a lead to go ahead and follow up with. So in order to get the details on the home and the other homes mentioned, they have to put this info. It is the only way that they will be able to get the information to the property, just like any other lead capturing site, just like any other lead generation website, right? I've just created this for myself with local people and I get to control it. So with that being said, obviously the point of that info is to take it in, be able to follow up with them. And once you set that message, one of two things will happen. So I want to make sure this is really specific, really tangible. I know I move quick. I know we're going over a lot of info, but you now know, again, how to create your group. You know what to post in here. You know what's getting you business. You have somebody that's reached out. You've commented back, and now you've sent them a message to go ahead and capture their info, okay? One of two things are going to happen. One, they're going to click that link. They're going to enter their information. They're going to automatically get the property information. I am having all of this done through Flowdesk. I think it's like $67 a month. You don't need it, and I'm going to talk about that as well. You don't have to go this route, especially if it's not as much of an intake at first, or you're trying to do it for a lower cost. No worries. Again, I'll get some strategies there also, but this is just the way that I systematized it. So I'm very specifically taking in leads every single time on these posts. So with that being said, they, again, option one, have now entered their information. They would like to go ahead and receive the property information. Once they click that landing page, which you saw on the other one, they hit their info, they hit enter. This is what automatically pops up through Flowdesk. They don't wait for it. They get everything automatically. This is a little bit of info, thanking them, giving my information. They can schedule a call here again, right? I'm doing things to move this forward, to further this. And then here they can click the list of available homes. So when I say they've got, again, 20 additional homes that I'll show them, all in this link as well. Super easy to follow. Now when I'm in my lead generation site, I can see which property they've posted, which property they've commented on, It helps me with my follow-up to be really specific for them as well. So again, something that's super helpful in capturing these leads to make sure that you're doing it in a structured manner. With that being said, this is just obviously my branding photos, and this information is just, again, coming from the MLS. So super basic here. Okay, so from there, second option is that they're not going to respond, right? First one, they respond, you capture your info, you can follow up from there accordingly. With that being said, they don't respond, right? Which is definitely going to happen. People are going to get that link. They're going to not want to put their information in. So at that point, I've got a series of follow-ups that go out. So the first follow-up message goes out 24 hours after that link is sent. So they get the landing page link with the property, put your info in here. They do nothing with it. 24 hours later, they get a follow-up message, just checking in to see if they have any questions. A lot of times I'll send a voice message at this point. You can click the little voice icon in your Facebook Messenger when you're speaking to people, and you can actually send them a voice message. I am huge on voice messages. I'm sure you guys as well get so many spam messages. Sometimes they are real messages, but they just come across as spam. So especially because I'm just now messaging them and reaching out to them, and I could still be a little bit unknown, I also will again send that voice text. I'll put a little personal touch to it. I let them know who I am. No rush, no pressure, right? I just make them know that this is actually a real person. I'm not just sending you auto responses, which I also do. But again, to kind of kick it off initially and really try to drive that business forward, a voice message, super solid, you guys, super helpful. I absolutely get more responses back on voice messages than I do on just regular text responses. A lot of times people will respond back with a voice message, or if they respond to me something like, hey, I'm not ready yet, we're still looking, I don't want to bother anybody or waste anybody's time yet, I can now send them a voice message about how I want to be a resource. Again, no rush, no pressure, we're here when they need something, but it helps further those people along. So love me a voice message, definitely recommend it. With that being said, say it stalls out, haven't heard back. Second follow-up is sent 4 days after. Again, just checking with them, seeing if they have any questions, seeing if they had a chance to look at that link with the properties, and if there's anything they want to go out and view in person. Again, always trying to further it, always trying to take it to that next step, going for the straight ask. Always end on a question, right? I'll never just say, hey, sent you the link. Let me know when you have time to go ahead and review it. I want to end with something that asks a specific question, right? To encourage that engagement back and forth. So hopefully they're going to respond. We start a conversation, right? So just like when you're on the phone, you don't want to be the one saying the last thing to end the conversation. Ask things to be engaging to create that back and forth conversation with them. And then with that, I flow into my typical lead follow-up process. So say I've sent them this landing page, they haven't responded. I have sent them a follow-up, another follow-up, still nothing. At that point, I just flow into my typical lead follow-up process. So everybody, if you especially are with us, let me know, because you should definitely have a very specific lead follow-up process of what you're doing as you're bringing these clients in. And I just take them from that bucket and then move them to my typical follow-up. So I'm continuing to reach out. I do not let these leads die. I do not get a couple responses and then just let them go. So with that being said, I definitely continue to check in, to follow up with that process. Not to sound terrible, but till you buy or you die, right? Once you're in the database, it's game time, and we will definitely continue to follow up from there. So with that, a couple things that I wanted to show you guys as well. I know this is a lot of info, and I really want to give you guys some black and white takeaways here, but I'm putting out that landing page. I'm sending follow-up messages as well, right? Okay, from there, I also send follow-up emails to these clients that I wanted to show you guys a little bit of here as well. So this, not something you have to do. I think you could absolutely, I was getting closings out of just not 3 to 5, but I was getting closings out of this group without doing any of this stuff. So don't feel overwhelmed. Don't feel like you have to put this in play or like you need any new systems. This is just something that I do now because I've got these systems set up and I've added a couple things to really capture everything that I can out of this. And again, just like any other lead source, we're going to go ahead and send them follow-ups, email drips, text drips, calls as well, right? So with that being said, I use Messenger to initiate the reach outs. I follow up in Messenger, as you guys just saw in those last slides. And then from there, these are an example of some of the email drips that I'm also sending out to these clients. I got their name, number, email, right? So I'm sprinkling them as much as I can. And with that being said, they fill out this form. With that being said, I now day 3 is when I start sending out these emails. So it starts off with messages, it starts off with the voice text. If nothing, then I'll put them in this system here. And this is exactly what we advise, and this is exactly what I send out to them. So this is Nalika from the Waddell Group. Thanks again for checking out the list of homes I sent over. These are the people that opened the list, right? They opened the link, they sent their info, they reached out to look at the properties, but I haven't heard back from them since. So they submitted the info to the landing page, but now I haven't heard back from them in any of my message or reach outs. So now, again, they've got this email going out to them. Just wanted to follow up, see where you're at in your home search, whether you're just browsing or planning to move soon. Would you like me to send over an updated list of homes for sale? Asking them a question, adding something value. I'm trying to get them to respond back to me. They can reply back with homes for a current link. Super easy, super basic, right? If you're not actively looking right now, no worries. I also put together a home buyer's guide if you'd like a plan to stay ahead. So with that being said, again, just a word, they would email, comment back, and they can get these guides. I don't, again, want to be super overwhelming, but if you've already got a group, if you're looking to further it or really drive everything you can out of this, again, these are just auto responses. You set them up one time, super easy to do. I'll go over at the end here some of the structure on how I've got all of this set up now and some of these systems that I have in place. But this is just another little follow-up I send, right? Always trying to drive it forward. I'm not just checking in and asking about the homes, checking in to see if they need anything. I'm asking them and prompting them with items of value to try to get that engagement, to try to further them forward. If they ask for that guide, it gives me kind of a cue on where they are in the process, right? And then I can help and follow up from there. So all of these things are done strategically with a purpose to re-engage these clients and encourage them to do the next steps, which is obviously booking a showing. So with that being said, to book a showing, what do we have to do? Have a consultation, get a buyer broker signed. So that's the whole point to all of this, and that's what I do to drive these clients forward. With that, day 10, another email goes out. This one, very no pressure as always, but it gets direct to the point of trying to set that appointment. We're very no pressure, right? But there's a purpose to this. And if you are not asking, you will not get. So add value and ask, and you will drive clients forward more quickly because you're talking to the ones that are going to be more ready or the ones that are at least ready to start the process and get a game plan. So with that, same thing, I don't want to bug you by any means, but I wanted to invite you to either a one-on-one discovery call to go over your current needs, questions, or concerns. I know a lot of times there's so much information you need when thinking about buying or selling to see if it's even going to be a good fit and align with your goals. That's what most people are thinking about, right? It's a lot. When people decide they're going to buy a home, it's because they've already checked all the other life boxes to know that's what they want to do. There's a lot of steps ahead, right? So I'm just speaking to that, trying to get them on the phone, trying to get in front of them so that way I can get a clear picture of where they are and then move that next step forward. This right here, super easy. You could just click it and schedule a call. Again, you do not need any of this. You can send manual follow-ups. You can call them as well, right? The point here is to stick to your lead generation process and make sure you're also following up with these clients. I was taking in comments and a lot of, like I said, engagement on it and not doing anything after. It was a one and done, kept it moving, didn't have the systems or the time for the amount of reach outs that we had coming in. Now that I put some of these additional things in place, again, this is what makes it more consistent. I know I said it a couple times, but I don't want this to be overwhelming. So if I could stress anything, it's just setting up your group, doing those property posts, and you can manually reach out to people as well. So say you have a post and it has a handful of reach outs, you can template your own things and reach out to them, just more organically and not through any type of system and follow up with them again, just as you would any other lead. That's the point to it, right? So with that being said, some additional tips, some helpful info. We are almost done here. I've got about 10 more slides and I'll whip through these as quick as possible and then we will hit any questions that you guys have. So with that, speaking a specific way is going to get you more right now clients. So this is definitely something that I found helpful, something I didn't always gear my posting towards, meaning I would just talk to people and tell them, if you would like a new build guide with 5 tips on important things you should ask the builder, DM or comment blank. If you're thinking about selling your home, here's 7 tips that you should know. awesome, solid, those will work, right? But if you make a slight tweak in your verbiage when you're posting in this group, and honestly, even just in your business in general, you're gonna get people that are ready sooner. So what I mean like by that is now you're gonna tweak the post, the hook, the caption. If you're looking to purchase a new build in the next 90 days, you need this free guide. I am talking to people who are looking to do something in the next 90 days. I'm reaching out for leads that are ready in a more timely manner in a specific strategic way. I'm talking to those people, right? Oh, shoot, I am thinking about buying a home soon. Boom. The ones that are out a little further, of course, I'm still down for that. I'm always about, the long game and following up with clients and having future business as well. And you'll get some people that are still a little further out or maybe need some TLC on their credit or whatnot. But this is talking to people in a more specific manner that are raising their hand to be ready in a more quick fashion. So with that, another example for you guys, if you're thinking of purchasing a custom home in the next 60 days, here are 7 important things to know. If you're looking to do this in the next 60 days, right? So again, tailor that, put timeframes, put information in there so that we are speaking to people who are like, oh shoot, I am looking to do that in this time frame. And then again, that's going to help you move these clients forward more quickly because you're talking to clients in a more specific manner. I am going to, at the end here, button up with a few additional things that I do. So really everything is coming from posting in this group, right? The property posts are what is absolutely bringing me clients. But I also, now that I've grown it and I've got time, I take these clients and I do events with them. So I get out in front of these people now as well. A couple things with that. The type of events you host can also be geared towards certain clientele. And what I mean by that is if I host a free event, obviously it's open, good turnout, people show. If I host an event with a cost that's usually about $50 a head or more, I'm speaking to a certain type of people. Not everybody can attend that event. Some people weed themselves out of it. And then again, I'm speaking to certain people. So with that being said, even with the events that you're hosting, you can literally tailor those to work with a specific type of clientele. Newsletters, as I mentioned, and I'm going to show you guys an example here, still work very well, especially for leads in this group. A newsletter is a really good follow-up touch point for you in your group. You're going to be capturing these emails and you're going to be able to now have an item of value. You're not reaching out solely real estate based. I touch on the real estate and I sprinkle it in there, which I'm going to show you guys an example of. But the point is community based, right? Showing them things to do. I post that newsletter again in my group and people have to register in order to receive it. So it's also a lead generation magnet. But that's something I do seasonally, 4 times a year, super easy. AI can make it for you. If you're a part of our group, you have those custom GPTs available that will literally tailor it to your area and tell you what to put into the AI platform to generate those newsletters for you in your specific area. But that's definitely something I found helpful in this group in addition as well. And the point to this, just like any other lead generation source, is more people to know you, like you, trust you. That is what you're doing here, right? You're just using this in a more controlled manner to get in front of people, to lead generate. It's not always a right now burn and turn. And again, these definitely are a lot quicker than any other source that I've utilized over the last 9 years. But with that being said, I'm following up, I'm nurturing, I'm checking in. I am moving that ball down the field. I'm not letting them raise their hand and then just kind of kicking my feet, waiting to see who reaches out and is ready for me to take them. When they raise their hand, I know it's game time, and then I follow up accordingly to be able to move them forward. I'm very no pressure. I'm very much about the value. I've never been called pushy, right? That's why I reach out in these certain manners. That's why I send the voice messages. It's more friendly, more personable, but I am working to move these people forward once I put those posts out. With that being said, and again, we're almost done here. This is an example of the newsletter that I sent. So I'm going to show you guys a couple more slides here. I live in Waddell, so I call it What's Happening Waddell, right? Cute, catchy, makes people want to look at it, makes people want to read it. I gave a little blurb here. This is your local Waddell newsletter. We'll be sending out newsletters to the community with updates in the area, things to do, recipes, crafts, right? Things, again, that I know people out here are interested in. If you live in a certain area that there's tons of horse properties and tons of activities people do in that area, in that arena, talk about that. Put out tips for horse care, right? Things that people in your area actually care about. Again, lots of moms out here, they have lots of things to do with your kiddos, all that good stuff. So that's what I gear my page towards. The very last page here, and I'm going to show you a little bit of the middle here in the next slide. The very end of the newsletter, the whole point is for them to know me, right? So I give value, 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 and then I've got a little family, a little personal photo, right? And then boom, real estate professional. If you need something, again, I'm just sprinkling in, I'm just a reminder to you so that way when you do need something, you're ready to go forward. Boom, you reach out to me to do so. This is what is actually in the group here. So if we look at these slides, again, you guys, super basic. All I'm posting is one, there was a restaurant opening right around Halloween time. Cool, easy to post and promote in here, solid in a community group. There are, it was for Halloween for this last one, right? So little easy Halloween crafts to do, things that didn't take a ton of supplies that were actually easy and applicable. I got so many responses from people in the community about these little activities and things they were able to do. Because again, they're easy to follow. They're not, I didn't just put a bunch of shit together because it was quick and it looked good. I put something together that they could actually read, implement, go through, would be of interest to them. This year again, got a ton of families out here. So what did I speak to? Things to do with your kiddos, easy things, fun things, cost-effective things to do, right? Places to enjoy fall in Arizona. Again, it's literally hot as hell up out here, even often into October, but there are plenty of places you can go, plenty of places up north, plenty of pumpkin patches. I had a whole list you could just scroll through with all the places to go. And then just a little adult beverage. Again, very easy, handful of ingredients, something that if people saw this, they'd be like, oh shit, I could do this, or this is kind of fun, or kids, let's pull this out. I saw this craft here, right? Oh, hey, you guys want to go do something this weekend, go to a pumpkin patch? Let me look at this newsletter we got, right? So this again is a value I'm sprinkling on people. I did not do this at the beginning. This doesn't have to be a main driver or something you implement, right? But this could be something not even just for your group, but for your entire database. And I promise you guys, relationships and nurturing your database are just going to be more important than they ever have in the past. So to me, this is all around a good little tip, regardless of what you're doing, but it is something that I utilize to further this group as well. Okay, as mentioned, I take these people offline as well and host events and do things with them. Not at all something you have to do. Do not feel overwhelmed. If all you do after this webinar here is create your group and start getting your content scheduled to put out those property posts and know what you're going to be responding to with clients, boom, that's game time. That's all you need. You don't need literally any of this other stuff that I'm talking about. But again, just in some questions from people I had before we even hopped on this webinar, I know some of this is of interest, so I just want to make sure and really give a full picture to if you're new or if you're kind of building up what you already have and looking for some more tips. So with that being said, not at all again something you have to do, definitely something I found very helpful. I personally would rather be out at an event, out at yoga, out doing something with a group of people than cold calling, than doing an open house and door knocking, right? So this is just an added way to grow your business, to get in front of people. Again, can't stress enough, the property posts, if you just hit those, you will get business out of your group. That is the main thing. That is the driver. This now, I'm able to take people and one, help local businesses, but also organize events for community people. So one, yoga in the park is something that I do now as an annual thing. You can get to that place too, right? People will look forward to it, ask about it, they expect to have it, they expect to see you there. I have a friend who's a yoga instructor for 150 bucks. She lets me invite unlimited people. I host it in this beautiful park right near my house. So again, community-based, it gives me content. I'm helping a local business owner, which happens to be my friend, and then I can invite people. So now you guys, you have additional ways to follow up with people that hadn't responded or just people you're trying to further a connection with. You're not reaching out for real estate needs. You're not reaching out for properties. You're not reaching out asking them for something. You're just inviting them to something that you've got going on. Definitely very helpful. Definitely a way to further things, get in front of more people as well. Again, if you're looking to grow and expand this. Waddell Roland Stroll was a little thing that I did. So again, family based out here. People brought out their bikes, their strollers. We just walked around on one of the trails. Literally free. Didn't have to drive anywhere. Left my house, walked to a trail, met a bunch of people for free, got in front of them, right? Like it doesn't get any easier. And now you're coordinating your own networking events with people in the area. Certain things like a board and brush. So this I reached out to and just invited the ladies to speak a little more specific to them because women's groups obviously get a lot of engagement. So I did that with purpose, with strategy, but I invited women out to a board and brush. I got 109 comments of women in my area wanting to attend this board and brush. All I did was pay for myself, and they actually gave me a free one after for bringing people into their business. But all I did was pay for myself. Everybody else pays for their own. They register their own thing. There's no additional cost to me. All I simply did was reach out to the board and brush, say, hey, I've got a group of X people. I want to coordinate a time with you. What's the best link to pass out? Got it, posted it out to people. Everybody was so grateful at that event that I had planned that. They were like thanking me the entire time for planning something that they could come out to. And all I did was post on social media and call a company and book a time. Like, it just genuinely doesn't get easier. But people do appreciate those little things. I've set listing appointments from these events. I've literally had people come up to me and tell me, hey, I know I see your real estate info in there as well. I need XYZ. And I will set appointments from these. Not 100% of the time, right? But totally worth doing these. And then with that being said, another reason why I like these groups is when you are now at an event, you're not kind of awkwardly trying to introduce yourself to people or get in a group or meet more people, which is the whole point, right? I'm now straight hosting this baby. I get to walk in there. I get to announce myself in front of the group and thank everybody for being there. Let them know that I'm the one who runs and hosts the group, who created it, that I appreciate them coming out. And I get to, again, introduce myself to everybody and now be the one person that everybody at this event knows, right? So it's helpful for a couple reasons. Business owners are very grateful as well, again, because you're bringing local people into their company. So all in all, totally a win. With that, we are almost wrapped up here. And then if you guys have any questions, I'll make sure to go over that. Just literally a handful of slides left at this point. So with that being said, what to keep an eye out for that could hurt your group. We've gone over a lot of do's, a lot of what to post, a lot of how to engage, where to get it, what to do. There are a couple things that you should not be doing and a couple things that you should be mindful of here. So with that being said, watch out, obviously, for scam posts. Super basic, right? They'll get in your group though. You'll see sometimes it looks like it's a family in need, right? That's posting about something. You got to look at those and you got to even sometimes check the comments because they'll be like, you posted this in another group trying to scam people. So you need to get those out of your group. Your group will get flagged if you have consistent things in there that are being posted like that. Posts that repeat too often. So if you've got somebody in there kind of just spamming it and putting a bunch of information in there for their landscaping business and they're just posting it and posting it and posting it again, your group's going to get flagged. So be mindful. I will straight up block those people. I don't have no time for that. I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm not going to message you. If you're in there, spam my group, blocked, good day. There's plenty of other traffic from there. Any post that could get you flagged. So for example, what I mean by that is every now and then I'll get like a post of somebody that found a bunch of puppies and is selling them. I'll get red flag notices in my manage account telling me, hey, these are posts that shouldn't be in your group. This is spam. You're selling things you shouldn't be selling. So again, be mindful that you're in that portion, managing your group so you can see any alerts that you're getting. For the most part, this group is going to run itself. Once people start getting in here, the group will take a life of its own. People are going to run the engagement. You can just get in there with your handful of community posts because most of the posts people get in there with are questions they have or services they're offering. It's not really community based, and restaurants and things like that will post, right, their own things, their own deals that they have. Like I said, that little bar restaurant that's out here, they'll post little drink deals and things they're doing. When it comes to new businesses opening, when it comes to road closures, when it comes to events to do for Halloween, which is right around the corner, those aren't things that people are continually posting. And that's what I want the core of my group to be. I want you to be able to go there and truly use it as a community resource. But I want you to be able to go there and see fun shit to do, things that are going to spark you to come back, helpful community information, right? So that's what I'm driving in there. And that's the other organic information that I'm posting. And then outside of that, again, I'm just hitting it with those 2 property posts a week. Okay, so final slides here I wanted to go over with you guys. And again, some questions that I had received prior to hopping on this that I really wanted to make sure and hit for you guys. This next bit of information, again, not something that you have to include. I'm going to go over some things to systematize it, some things I recommend, and then I'm going to go over my VA and my assistant who actually now help and 100% run this group for me. So with that being said, some things that I would definitely set up here would be your short codes. So super easy to do. Chat GPT, Google it. It's to where you obviously just hit, for example, the letter X space and it pops up a whole message, right? You're not replying to people, typing it out every time, retyping it, having to copy and paste. You're gonna get your short code together so you can use your keyboard and hit like QZ, for example, is one I use because nothing starts with QZ. I'm not gonna be using those. So I'll hit QZ, enter, boom, automatic response comes up. Now we need to message them. I have a QA response, QA, boom, response goes out. So those things are going to be really helpful. It might sound very minimal, very easy to do, but when you're getting an influx and you're having to constantly respond to people, it's going to save you so much time. Definitely super important. I would set times on your calendar to check your group, ideally 5 minutes to respond to somebody. So I don't live in my group. And again, I have somebody now that's in there helping facilitate it, but you want to be pretty proactive in here. When people are reaching out, you want to get to them, you want to respond. Pin has mentioned your intro post, your personal post, pin seasonal post with things to do. Let people know what they're getting right when they get into this group. You can use Business Suite to schedule posts out. Here's what's a little rough about the Facebook group. It's not like Instagram where you can use ManyChat. And if anybody knows anything different, you just let me know because my VA has looked at this left and right. We've not found a resolution. But the Facebook groups are not like Instagram where you can incorporate a ManyChat, for example. Somebody puts in a keyword, they say home, they say new build, whatever it is, and they automatically get a response with that. Facebook makes you go in and manually do it. There's no way to auto set that stuff up. So that's why these short codes can be super important and super helpful in saving your time and making sure that you're going to be able to respond accordingly without getting overwhelmed, without wasting time in these types of activities, because the point is to get people and be able to move them forward. And then last thing here, put these in your CRM, right? Again, the point to this is to get these leads and follow up with them just as you would any other lead source. If we only have their name, so say that they've sent a comment, they were interested in a property, but after that, they've never done one single thing. I don't have their info. They haven't responded. They haven't filled out and clicked on the landing page to give me their info. I will have just their name and still put them in my CRM. So that way I can message them, I can voice message, I can follow up, right? So even if I don't have a full picture, when it comes to this lead source, if you've commented on a property, you're going into my CRM and we're going to follow up with you. Okay, a couple of final things from here. Some things I've done to systematize my group to run consistently and not need me to be the one putting time into it. So all of this is something, even right now, the way I run it is something that you can 100% do yourself. It'll take you a couple hours a day to do everything I just told you about. So I know it can be a lot of information, but really once you have the setup and an outline of where you're pulling the information from, and your auto responses set to clients, you're just rinsing and repeating from there. Okay. So again, a couple hours a day, you could easily facilitate everything that I just went over. Again, if all you are doing is putting community posts, inviting people, and putting your property posts, that will drive business. Again, these are just all ways to systematize it, grow it, build it. And with that, you don't need to implement, like I said, any of these assistants or things that I'm going to go over. But I'm all about time allocation, and I'd rather put somebody in place to do the task consistently, thoroughly, to have a process for it, and then I can move on to the next thing or use that time to be with my family. So currently, I'm using just one part-time assistant, one VA, and they are 100% running the group. I really don't ever get inside my Facebook group at all anymore. Everything that I just showed you guys, I've got a system for, and the VA knows what they're doing on their end, which I'm going to get into here in a moment, and the assistant knows what they're doing on their end to run this group on the back end. Where I come into play is when people are ready to start getting out and viewing homes, because again, what does that mean? It's time for a consultation. It's time to get the buyer broker signed. And then we can get to what they want, which is viewing those homes. But I tie it together so that way I can start the process correctly. So with that being said, again, I am 100% at this point stepped out of it. So I know these things work. I know these systems work. And now I only again step in when it is time for somebody to be ready to start moving forward. So as for some of the tasks and the main things that my VA is doing, is posting property listings in the group by going to the MLS and pulling a home within the requirements I've advised. So with that being said, now for these posts, so the main ones I showed you, it's property post, property information, and just some of those details. Obviously, I gave him a template of here's what to put for the information. He can rinse and repeat per property, very easy, very black and white. But I also taught him how to go into the MLS and what the parameters are for what I want him to be posting, a certain price point I want him to stick within, certain land size, certain time frame of how long the property has been on the market. So he looks for those specific things, he knows what to match, he pulls properties and he posts them now. So those ones that I showed you that are the main drivers for my business in this group, I don't post those. I don't even see what properties are getting posted anymore. I gave him parameters, he follows it, we put those posts out accordingly. One, he engages with interested members and replies to the comments and the direct messages, as well as sends the email follow-ups. So everything I showed you guys a couple slides ago, somebody comments on that price, location, the keyword, new build, luxury, whatever. Then that DM, hey, exclamation point, check your DMs for full details. He sends that out every single time. He's constantly in this group. He looks in that information. He sends that out accordingly. And then with that, he's the one that then goes to Messenger. He sends the DM to them. He sends the landing page to them. He also operates Flowdesk for me, meaning he creates those landing pages. So I have nothing to do with those property posts that go out anymore. He pulls the information. He knows how to create the landing page for that property. He knows how to post the information. He knows how to respond to people. Then furthermore, he knows what the additional follow-ups are. So even those email drips that I showed you guys, he created those. I gave him an outline. Here's what I want to do. Here's what to prompt ChatGPT with. Go ahead and create these follow-up emails. I even had him get in there to find out what the most optimal follow-up time was for people in that group. So I've got a community group. This is what I'm posting. This is where my clients are turning. This is where clients are falling off and I'm not getting a response. What is the recommended follow-up time frame here? So all of that he helped generate and get really specific with. He has documented and outlined the entire process. So everything that he does is outlined on a Word doc and a spreadsheet. It is replicable. It is something that we can, if we add another VA, he could pass this info to them and they would be able to pick it up and run with it as well. So we're not having to take more time in the future and re-implement everything. We can just continue to grow it. He also is very good about sending me an email when somebody in my messenger is ready to move forward. So the messenger, as you can imagine, gets very packed. You get a lot of messages in there. It's easy to, kind of miss them if you're not in there consistently. So because he is in there consistently, he'll also make sure to flag me and tell me like, hey, they're ready to go right now. And then I can jump on at that point. But he is the one fully running this group. So with that, in just 2 more slides here, and we will open up for Q&A. With that being said, I've got a part-time assistant. It's actually my teenage son who we hired in our business. So again, super simple tasks to do. It's just doing the follow-up process. So when I started this group, we started putting out the post. I saw there was some traffic there and that we were having comments. Initially, I was just kind of doing a one and done. They were getting the initial follow-up. They were getting the initial message. I was doing nothing else from there. Obviously, you miss a lot of leads that way because the first message, second message isn't when they're going to turn. You have to continually follow up with them. So that's where my son came into play. And I taught him what to do for these posts. So since I use a landing page, since I use Flowdesk, and again, you could easily track this manually by just literally looking in your group and looking at the post and who's commented on it. But I go to the landing page. We see who's reached out on it, who's opted in. And then he has a follow-up response he sends to those people. He knows, okay, if they've messaged back already, here's what I say. If they haven't sent anything, here's what I say. So he's got specific follow-ups I've given him in order to follow up with them accordingly. If they haven't responded with anything, again, he knows what to be sending in those messages to make sure and really revive those leads. If they have commented but never clicked on the landing page, meaning I wouldn't have any of their information, he then clicks on their name from the comment section on that property post. So we've got the property post, we've got the comments on there. He'll click on the name of whoever commented and he'll send them a Facebook message. That's the only way I have to reach them at this point, right? So I'll send them another Facebook message that way to revive it. Those things, again, are definitely going to help you with growing all of this. A VA technically could have done all those tasks. It doesn't have to be divvied up. It could be done just by you, right? It's just, like I said, a couple hours a day for everything that I've gone over in this entire presentation. My VA handles a lot of things for all of my social media platforms. So it was a lot to put on his plate, and my kiddo works with me anyways, and I give him these type of tasks. So it all just made sense to do it that way. I mentioned all that because, again, you don't need two people to do this. You could easily do this yourself. Or again, if you're at a place where you got the time, the funds, you want to implement somebody else, one VA would absolutely cut it to be able to do everything that I went over from here. So final thing here, expectations I wanted to go over. So just like any other lead source, it works if you work it, right? The more time you put into it, the more follow up, the more you're consistent in here with those property posts, the more you're going to get out of it. Set it up proper from the beginning, follow these steps, get your group in line so you can get the best reach in the quickest amount of time. 2 years to 30,000 members to have consistent business. That's my time frame on it, right? I was already very much getting business well within that 2 years, as mentioned, 1 to 2 consistently, and that's what had me realize I wanted to double down on this. So it's not going to take that amount of time, but I just say that because don't post a handful of times and get no traffic and then want to quit. Stay in here, stick with it. I've had this group for a couple years. It's not a day one conversation I'm having, right? But absolutely worth it. And as mentioned in my very first slide, I think things like this are going to be more important than ever. How can you get in front of more people, be a real person, get people to know you, like you, trust you, think of you when they have a real estate need? So again, with that, everything fortune is in the follow-up, right? That's where you're going to get the most out of this. So last thing here, with that being said, we've gone over a lot of information, a quick little recap, and then I'll hit any questions that you guys have. So go ahead, start throwing your hands up if you have any. Is how to create this group, how to kick it off, what your first post would be, what to be posting in there consistently, where to be getting those posts from, the type of posts I utilize to drive business, and then what I'm doing to then follow up and actually get clients and closings out of these posts that I'm doing. So with all that being said, again, this is just a massive lead generation site that I can control, that's in my area, that I can pump through as much business as I want to do, right? So all that being said, that's what I wanted to go over with you guys. Should you have any questions or anything, here's a contact number for us. You can call or text. We'd love to, help you in your business whatsoever. But that is what I have for you guys. That is what I wanted to go over. Hope you guys found some value in that. I know it was a long one, longer than I anticipated. So with that being said, I'll hit some of these messages. I'll just kind of read through here quick as possible to answer anything that's in here. But again, feel free to raise your hand so that if you have a question now, we can get to it. So perfect. Appreciate the info. Appreciate the comment here, Jenny. Sounds good, Robert. Glad you got some good value out of this. Tiffany, you as well. Armando, thank you for answering some of those questions in here. Again, I'll just do this here very, very quickly so I don't waste your guys' time. Is there a link to paid plug and play class course with all of this? So if you're asking specifically if I have like a paid course that goes over just kind of, I guess, maybe some more of the black and white fundamentals, I don't. This definitely isn't any type of pitch. I really wanted to give you guys black and white things that you could take away right now from this meeting. If you're on our team or part of the organization, we do have this chunk down. It's one of the things that we offer to our agents to really give them some, black and white ways to do this and just set things more up on the back end. But happy to talk about that. If you need anything, if you have any questions, you can reach out here to the number below. I appreciate that too, Cindy. Glad this was super detailed, answered a lot of questions for you. Everybody, I see all the comments and everything. So thank you, thank you. Glad you guys got a lot of information from this, just kind of weeding through. If you have any questions, was it Magdalena? I love it, girl. Get it started today. Everybody else, you're welcome. Josh, glad you were able to jump on as well. You're so welcome. With that, perfect. Okay, cool. I don't see any questions in here. Again, I'll stay on for a couple minutes here. If you guys have any questions, if there's anything that you want to go over, definitely let me know. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you hopping on. Appreciate all the kind words. And I hope you guys can take this, implement it, and start kicking some ass in your business. Appreciate you guys. Have a good rest of your day.